One. So here we are again to start with our chapter 5 part 2, the 100 dresses part 2. In part 1, I hope you already know the story of Wenda Petronsky, how her absence is not felt at school for 2 or 3 days continuously, and later on when her classmates Peggy and Maddie who noticed that Wenda Petronsky has not been turning up to school just because they wanted to play some chess game with her, because every time when Peggy used to ask a question to Wenda Petronsky how many dresses she had, what would be the answer given by Wenda Petronsky? I hope you remember. She all the time used to say, I have 100 dresses, all silk, lined up in my closet. So when there was a drawing competition in their school, it was Wanda Petronsky who became the winner, because when other girls had drawn only one or two dresses, she had drawn complete 100 dresses, and her teacher was very happy with her. And all the dresses drawn by Wanda Petronsky were beautiful. They were exactly how she used to describe them. So this is what we read in the first part. Now this is the turn to start with the second. So this is the summary of part 2, the 100 dresses part 2. The lesson begins with all the students of room number 13 having a look at the wonderful drawings of Wenda Petronsky. Room number 13 was the room where their classroom was, where she used to sit in the last second line in the corner seat. Only then a note is received by Miss Mason. Miss Mason was the name of their teacher, from Wenda's father, informing that none of his two children will attend the school, because Wenda's younger brother also was studying in the same school. Now, the teacher received a note that the boy and girl, they would not be coming to the school as they are moving to a big city where no one would judge them for their names. This was the one reason why Wenda was made fun of, because her name was quite long and it was different from others, so others used to laugh at her name. Miss Mason was left shocked and conveyed her disappointment to the class. Maddie was affected by this letter of Wenda's father. She instantly developed an urge to apologize to Wenda. Peggy and Maddie, the two best friends, rushed to Boggins Heights. Boggins Heights, I think you remember the place where Wenda Petronsky used to live. That the family hadn't moved yet. But to their dismay, to their disappointment, there was no sign of life in and around the house. Maddie lost her sleep, thinking what a coward she is who couldn't stand against the wrong. Because Maddie never supported Peggy or any other girl who used to make fun of Wenda when they used to ask her about the dresses. But she behaved like a coward because she did not say a word to stop them, because she herself was afraid if they would stop making fun of Wenda, probably it would be her turn next. So she didn't say anything. So that day she decided that she will never let anyone tease someone like that again. That weekend, Peggy and Maddie decided to write a letter to Wenda that was originally meant to be apologetic, but they ended up writing a friendly note asking her how she did how did she like the new place. Weeks passed by and there was no reply from Wenda Petronsky until one day near Christmas, Miss Mason announces that she heard from Wenda. And in that letter, Wenda had written to Miss Mason, and she had written all good words, and she had gifted uh, one dress each to Maddie and Peggy, because she always loved all these girls, and both of these girls, they concluded finally that Wenda did like them. So this is the summary of the chapter. The lesson begins with a letter received from Wenda's father informing the school about their moving to a big city where no one would tease Wenda for her funny name as well as her appearance. After getting familiar with the content of the letter, through the teacher, the whole class got stunned and realized their derogatory remark and attitude toward Wenda. Sometimes it happens, we do not realize that what we think we are having fun probably is doing something wrong to the person who is being made fun of. So the same was happening to Venda and probably to her brother also, because they were always laughed at because of their peculiar name. Here we know about Venda only because the story revolves around her. And when they could not stand this anymore, they decided to move to some other city, bigger city, because in generally we think in the cities people are not concerned about these petty issues. So they moved to some other city, and the father, he wrote a letter to the teacher. Maddie felt really bad because she knew the fact it was because of her and it was because of Peggy that Vanda probably had taken this decision, so she couldn't have a proper sleep. She wanted to meet Vanda in person to clarify her stand that she never meant to hurt her feelings, but now it was too late. Vanda had already gone. And when the school was over, Maddie and Peggy both went to the residence of Vanda at Boggins Height to meet her, but that time they had already left. So their visit was fruitless. So this is what we come to know about the story. It's the summary part here. Later on they discover that Venda is a very talented artist, and all her dresses, they have won the art contest, and uh, they were actually surprised by her willingness to forgive. This is a beautiful virtue which is really not possessed by all of us, to forgive. To forgive those who have done something wrong to us, who have said something wrong to us, because we constantly feel a hurt that makes us feel bitter towards others. But those who have such a generous and benevolent heart, only they have the virtue, only they have this quality of forgiving others. And Venda Petronsky, being a beautiful soul, she forgave all her classmates, especially Peggy, and she wasn't actually sad or annoyed at them. So in the next lesson, we would be discussing about the complete storyline of the chapter. For your reference, I have given a detailed summary here in the first one. I hope you would all love it and enjoy it reading it. Thank you. Let's meet in the next lesson.